I am right now as pale as a very angry white woman at Costco who is saying I shouldn't have to wear a mask. Hi everybody, my name is Angel. Today's look is gonna be inspired by two things that are very near and dear to my heart: the Puerto Rican Day Parade and LGBTQ+ Pride. So if you celebrate either, if you love either, or if you just love makeup, this video is for you. So the first thing I like to do is prime my face. I use the Elf Hydrating Face Primer. Obviously make sure your hands are clean before you do this. You really wanna use like enough primer to be like essentially creating a second face. And for some of my ex-friends who already have two faces, this will be your third. Up next, we're gonna be blocking our brows. Now, most people use Elmer's glue stick, but because I have thick Latino brows, I have to use something a lot stronger. I also sweat a lot. I like to use Pros-Aide, which this bottle is a little crunchy. Yeah, it's a medical grade water-based adhesive for the skin. Some people like to brush up. I brush sideways. You're supposed to brush in the direction that your brows grow. When you're wearing a wig and stuff like that, you're gonna wanna block your sideburn. Once you're done with your first layer of glue, I like to use, now I need y'all to be careful with this, but this is Coty Airspun powder, and it is in shade Translucent Extra Coverage. It can be a little dangerous and you just have to be careful with how you use it. So I like to grab it right here, and then I literally just dab that right on. And if the powder is getting everywhere, that's okay. Now, I might look a little crazy as I'm doing this, but I want y'all to know I believe in this thing. It is called Trust the Process. Also, be sure not to breathe in too much of this powder. This powder can actually give you what's called clown lung. If you're my ex, this doesn't apply to you because you're already a clown. You're gonna wanna do this 3 to 4 times, like for layers. So you're gonna do glue and then powder, glue, and then powder, glue, and then powder. But first, we're gonna need to brush off all the excess powder that just went everywhere on our face. So I just like to grab a big fluffy brush and then this is the part where you're gonna look a little bit crazy. You're gonna go into your eyeshadow palette and you're gonna dip into the orange shades right here. This only applies if you have like really thick hair that grows in. Go in there, kind of like you just ate like a big bowl of spaghetti. Like dark hair has this undertone of blue to it. And you're gonna wanna make sure that this orange cancels it out. Now that you have this like orange beard on, you can move on to actually like putting on foundation and whatnot. I like to start with my darkest color first. This is the brown contour shade. I use specifically NC55 full coverage foundation from MAC. I don't like to look natural. I like to look super natural, if that makes sense. So you're gonna look a little crazy for a moment, but please trust me. I just put like a brown foundation here. And that's going to balance out these blues. You're also gonna grab the brown and just kind of do like the rim of your forehead, like right here. Now you're gonna add your base shade to your face. This is NC35 full coverage foundation, also from MAC. You are out there reading me right now because this shade is not about to be my color. I will tell you, it was my color at one point, and then Miss Rona decided to happen, and she had other plans for us, and I haven't been outside in months. But I am not this color right now. I am right now as pale as a very angry white woman at Costco who is saying I shouldn't have to wear a mask. A lot of drag costumes like cut like around the neck area, and sometimes your jewelry to cover like an Adam's apple. I don't have a really prominent Adam's apple because, girl, I look like I ate the Adam's apple, okay? And then also you're gonna make sure you get your ear. One of my biggest pet peeves in drag is when people's ear are a different color And now the last thing we're gonna do before we like blend is we're gonna take our concealer shade, which I like to use in literally pure white. It is AC7 and also the full coverage foundation. So. Now that that's all on and you have this like really crazy funky look that's happening, I literally grabbed like 3 disposable beauty blenders and like assign them to different areas of my face. Let's just blend, 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 blend. Remember earlier when we were using all that excessive powder? We're gonna do that again. So we're just gonna literally, like, you really wanna make a mask of this stuff. So I like to let this powder literally just sit there for like 5 to 6 minutes. So I really wanted to do this look on Pero Like because I feel like the intersectionality of being a queer person and being a Latinx person, it can be difficult growing up. Like I definitely growing up felt like the Latinx community didn't really accept me because I was gay, and then gay community often didn't accept me because I was Latino. It's just very hard. And I'm very fortunate that like I'm more in touch with both of those communities now. I feel like, especially here at like Pero like this is like one of those places that, you know, I feel like just very accepted, very welcome. So this has all been baking for as long as it has. You're really just gonna wanna dust yourself off and try again. And if you know that song reference, we can be friends. Okay, now that that's dusted off, you're gonna wanna take, so I like to take just like a big, like a little fluffier brush, and I just dip that right into Studio Fix Powder Plus Foundation, and that's gonna go over all those sections that you originally put your just base shade on. So let's go right here, and you're just gonna like give it like this like powder finish. After that, you're going to grab your contour shade. This is an NW45, it's a Studio Fix Powder Plus Foundation. And then I like to take one of these brushes and just like dip that in there. You're gonna put this brown in the same parts you used to put your brown. So put it right here. I contour my cheekbones in a very specific way. So grab this, and then you're gonna line it up with the corner of your lip, and then you're gonna line it up kind of almost at the top of your ear. So it's like this straight line right here. And then you're gonna do this. That's the line you're gonna want. You're gonna take your blush. I also use MAC here. It's their Flower Power, and lightly dap it where your contour is. So you may have noticed, you're like, oh my God, he didn't contour his nose and his jaw yet. Relax, we're gonna get there. You're really gonna wanna just grab this blush, and I like to even contour with the blush because from certain angles, this brown, if it's like under your chin, is gonna look super unnatural, like in a way that you don't want. Like obviously, like I said, I want it to be super natural today. This is not the type of supernatural you wanna be. It's like the jawline I kinda already have, or my lack thereof, I should say. So I like to use Dragon Beauty for this one. It is their Dragon Heart Transformation Face Powder. Now, if you're on camera, you're really gonna wanna use this because it really adds like a little bit of a, almost like a Photoshop effect to everything. Just tap, and then really apply this to the parts of your face that you wanna bring forward. So I'm gonna apply this right here. For the nose, I like to use this very teeny tiny brush, and then we just dip into our brown again. Now, when you're contouring your nose, you're gonna wanna look like you just got your tax refund and spent a weekend in Tijuana. So first thing I like to do is like give an indicator of where my new eye socket is going to be. It's gonna go kind of like right into that brow. You're gonna take another big brush, a big floofy, fluffy brush, and you are going to rub this all over your face. Now we're gonna add some highlight. I use this Anotasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. It's color White Sand. You're just gonna like literally get this little corner first and then also bring it up a little. I personally like to add a lot of highlighter in case there are any men who are trying to wife me. They can't miss me because I'm very blinding. They're like, oh my gosh, who's this person with tinfoil on their face? Now that we have this all on, we're gonna move on to the pride portion of the makeup, which we're going to be doing nice rainbow eye, and then we're gonna do something very Puerto Rican for my lips. So before we even get started with this, we're gonna take another powder. It's called Shivering White. You have to be careful with this. I only use this on the eyes because it's going to put down a white layer, so that way the colors are gonna pop more when we actually put them on. So we're gonna grab our Morphe Bride palette and we're gonna dip into the color Sunlight. So right here. We're gonna take a sponge. I didn't mention this. We're gonna take a sponge. I'm just gonna add like a little bit of Airspun powder underneath, so that way it can catch any of our fallout there. Yeah, once that's on there, then we're gonna dip into the color Pride, which is very fitting. And we're gonna like right where that once was, we're going to add this orange. And we're gonna just do one eye at a time, and then we'll make the other eye match. I would say eyeliner, in my opinion, is the hardest part about any look. It is extremely difficult. Please don't judge me for my eyeliner. This is the NYX Professional Makeup Epic Ink Liner. I'm gonna do the same thing off camera on the other side. Be right back. We are going to add on now our eyebrows. Just give it like a little spritz with like a little primer spray that you've been using. And then now we're gonna add lashes. I like to use Superbond Hairbond glue for my lashes just because it sticks on a little better. We're gonna move on to now the Puerto Rican flag lip. I've never done this before, so this could go really poorly. It could go really well. We will see. So we're gonna start with the outline. And that's the first portion. We need to get some white going on there. So I think I'm gonna grab this concealer and we're gonna see if this works. Okay, again, we look crazy. Trust the process. Not quite, not yet. We're getting somewhere. We are working on this. Getting somewhere, I promise. Now, where's that white from earlier? So this has me so stressed out. I don't ever do line work like this. Like I just usually just like do a red glitter lip and I call it a day. What is this look? Okay, we got this. Don't worry, trust the process. We're getting somewhere. Love this. This is really difficult. I have no idea if this is gonna even work. That looks better actually. And then I'm gonna set this with Shimmering White. I regret this. I regret so much of this. If this doesn't go well, we're just gonna wipe it all off and just do a red lip. I can't. Okay, this is as even as this is gonna get. I understand this is not very even. So So I'm not talented enough to draw a star, so I'm going to add a sticker. Okay, I'm not mad at this, TBH. I'm gonna go change really quickly into something a little more rainbow, a little more festive, and then I'll be back. This is my completed look. I don't think this came out that bad for a first time. Makeup is really just about everyone expressing themselves, everyone having fun, playing with colors and stuff like that. I really just wanted to like express myself and express who I am, and like, you know, I am an individual who has intersectional identities. Thank you all so much. If you want to see me continue to do more makeup on the channel or like try other fun stuff, I hope this was like at least a little informative. And I hope you all had fun watching. So I will catch you all next time.
Follow, like.